Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is Pepper and Pine, and I have a super simple tutorial to share with you today. We are making waxed leaves. I have some beeswax candle as well as wax from old candles that I am adding to my candle pot. I'm going to melt that down completely before adding in some completely dry leaves. I found these on a morning walk around the neighborhood as well as in my backyard. Now if they are wet, you do want to dry them out completely, and if you don't completely dry them out, I'm going to show you what happens. So I'm going to carefully dip these in. The wax is really hot and I want the wax to drip off my leaves so that I don't leave any extra wax residue. If you leave any extra wax or you double dip your leaves, you're going to start to build up some wax as if you're making a candle, and then you're not going to be able to see that beautiful leaf or the color, and you don't want it so thick that the wax ends up cracking. You want this thin enough where there's still mobility for your leaves, but you get that nice, beautiful kind of glistening look to your leaf. Now these ones weren't entirely dry and my wax was too hot. So you can see that it left a lot of little bubbles on the backside and the front side of the leaves. Once they are completely cooled and dried, you can't really see that, but my wax was too hot and my leaves weren't 100% dry. I did find these leaves on a rainy day. I did lay them flat so that they could dry as flat as possible, and some of them you can see aren't completely flat, and some of them were really large, but I was still able to get them into my candle pot. They did have to get a little bit bent, but once they were completely covered with wax and cooled, they cooled mostly, or they dried mostly flat. I don't want to put it directly onto the waxed paper until most of the wax has cooled. Otherwise you'll end up with the wax sort of sticking to the wax paper and leaving an imprint. And you also want to make sure that you don't shake them off over your other leaves the way I did one time, and I got a lot of little splatters on one of my leaves. This is what they look like when they're done. I think they're really beautiful. Now these ones had started to decompose a little bit out in the rain. I did pick them from the ground, and so you can see a little bit of that texture and that look on these leaves. And I actually like the leaves that I got from my backyard the best because it still retained a lot of that beautiful color and they hadn't started to decompose or get any mold on them. And so you can collect a variety of leaves and sort of test them out and see how they look. These ones are my favorite one. They're so beautiful. They're still flexible and that shine is gorgeous. I hope that you enjoyed this really simple tutorial on how to make waxed leaves. You can find more information on the blog post that accompanies this video. You can find that link in the description box below. And if you'd like to see what we're making on a daily basis, you can find me on my website at pepperandpine.com.